Sooner Scoop HD.
Just what a wonderful day. Couldn't have scripted it any better. Sure, something Les Brown always talks about. Got to talk to yourself, and people say that's too good to be true. Well, something bad inevitably happens, right? The foundation for negative results is negative thinking. So I should think positive. It was a great day. It really was, and just thankful first and foremost. Two, really, they're equal. That crowd today was on fire. That was pretty amazing. 75,360, 20+ thousand more than the previous record. So just shows the passion, the love that the Sooner fans and supporters have for their university. Baker being here was a big part of that, I know. And but our players and their families and recruits and really anybody that's going to get a hold of that information, just as far as what the attendance figures are, and not only just a lot of people here, but passionate. That's what I noticed. You could, it was like a big game, and to me, that's what we want to create. Each and every time that we play, in the Palace, and that's a decision. That literally is a decision. And we've got to give them a good product to support, but they've got to show up with the right mindset and enthusiasm and love for the very few opportunities that we get to be able to do that. And so between the spring game and the actual season, you got seven opportunities to pack the Palace and just make it a crazy atmosphere. So that was terrific. The red team, won the game, but they were doubled in yards. The white had 364 and the red had 173 with those 3 turnovers. Imagine that. Turnovers are an important stat, and was the stat of the day for the white team. So I love the competition. I loved what I saw going back and forth. A competitive, tough competitive running. There was some really good physical running at times, guys running through trash, running behind their pads, and then some really good tough physical hitting, both out on the perimeter and in the box. Thought our guys up front, both sides of the ball, for the most part, it wasn't real sloppy, and we made some plenty of mistakes in the game procedurally, whether it was hands to the face on the first drive. Had a couple of those, and we had illegal man down the field. Had a couple of holding penalties. Had a PI, and I'm sure there were some procedural things in there as well. And we jumped off sides maybe twice as well. So we got plenty to clean up. But I'm pleased with the mindset of our guys, and not being casual, not being nonchalant. Every opportunity that we have to go to practice, go to meetings, we got to have the right mindset, and our guys have bought into that through 4.5 months. The most pleasing thing that I've seen from our guys is just 100% buy-in, and that doesn't mean that we're where we need to be from a development standpoint, scheme standpoint, physicality standpoint, precision standpoint, but the guys are starting to learn the value of what player-driven looks like, and there's countless examples. I don't want to bore you with all of those examples, but we're looking for both the good and the bad. Like, we're hunting for the bad, looking for somebody to do something wrong. We don't want to have an aha gotcha. We're trying to fix things. And so you don't get what you expect, you get what you inspect. You're dealing with young people, and so we can't grow weary as a staff, and that's been the challenge to our staff. I'm just one person, but I do believe I've hired people that understand what those values and what the standard looks like, and then we all have to relentlessly fight and work towards achieving that standard. So everything, like I said before, everything does matter. We got 2 of our best players in the locker room. We're having to pull them out of the locker room to run out for halftime because they're in the locker room cleaning stuff up. And have we emphasized that? Yeah, we have. There's a right way to leave it and a wrong way. And but two of our best players in there cleaning up the locker room, throwing away trash. It's like, Coach, you said, okay, well, it's time to play. And so that's when the seed is taking root. And so really, really pleased with our guys. They called a player-only walkthrough this morning. Like, who does that on the spring game? We did. And that may not sound like much to anybody, but for me as a coach, I know what we've tried to instill into them, tried to show them and talk them through countless examples of what being fully committed to doing your best looks like. And it's got to be a lifestyle. It's not a slogan. Being all in and being committed, what that really means, and committed to doing your best. Doing your best. Just show up and do your best. And be intentional and purposeful in everything that you do. You're not getting this moment back in your life. And so to just to have that hunger and that thirst for excellence and give it a try and see where we can be. So for me, that's the stuff that is again foundational. That's going to help us get to where we want to go. And I'm not thinking like, oh, let's have a great team this year. That's the least of my concerns. I'm focused on building the program the right way. And if we let the toothpaste out of the tube, we can't get it back in. So we can't miss. There's one time to do it the first time. Okay, do it right the first time. We get one chance as a staff. And we've made plenty of mistakes probably along the way. But I know the needle is continuing to move in the right direction. And some of it is definitely not apparent to the naked eye, if you will, but it is for us that are here in the weeds every day. And but I love the effort. One of my favorite situations of the day was an early drive where Eric Gray pops one and breaks it going to the north, and maybe they had first and goal, I believe, at the 3 or 4 yard line. All right, so wasn't happy with defensively what happened on that play. Dylan had broke a couple tackles, made a guy miss, and he was gone. And he was running, down the hash, and we had incredible effort to run him down. Okay, something bad happened. Okay, well, now we're going to let him score. Okay, give up. Or we're going to play through the whistle, and that's what you saw. So we got him down. Okay, uncommon effort. Let's get him down. Let's give ourselves a chance to line up and play another set of downs. And then we proceeded to knock them backwards, and they ended the drive kicking the ball for a field goal on the 6 yard line. And so I loved how we responded to some adversity early in the game, because bad stuff's going to happen. And how you respond is how you'll be defined. And we showed them example after example after example this spring of what uncommon effort looks like, and how the effort to pursuing to the ball and never giving up, okay, what it can mean for not only the game itself, but for the season. And we've got a lot of video and data to show them. And our guys, we've had some opportunities where they're in the same situation, and we were able to say, hey, he saw it and did the same thing. Looky here, this is what it looks like. So anyway, not to ramble on, but was really, really pleased just overall. I thought Dylan Gabriel was I loved his command, such a selfless guy. The game's easy for him in so many ways. Good decision maker, quick decision maker, plays with great anticipation. And that was really windy, and you're down on that field, man. It's like a cyclone down there. And it's hard to throw a good ball into that wind, but did a really good job. Had a touchdown, had a pick, and was really efficient, on the day. And we're very simple on both sides of the ball for obvious reasons, and wanted our guys to just go play and be confident and aggressive. So thought that they did that.
Any questions? The secondary. Go ahead, Dean.
I'm sorry.
Start with you. Go ahead. The secondary seemed to play well. In particular, I mean, I may be dead wrong on this, but it sure looked like some corners really made plays. Eaton was one, and who was it? Dennis maybe one, but several guys. What do you think?
Yeah, our positioning was good, Dean. We've played. We've had moments where we've gotten beat. You play corner, you're gonna get beat. But this spring, we've seen these guys take advantage of the tools that we're giving them. Our guys have done a really good job of getting them to understand the variety of schemes that we've employed, and then the fundamentals and the technique that go along with those schemes. Really excited about the group. It's not a deep group right now. We've got a couple of additions coming real soon in the next several weeks, but have seen real improvement by every single one of them. And so really excited about the growth there. And as we saw a year ago, that wasn't a point of strength for us, super inconsistent. And you can't play good defense, let alone great defense, and be inconsistent anywhere. And so we're gonna at times put them on an island, and we're gonna be aggressive with how we call things. But there's opportunities for us also to help them and protect their weaknesses and enhance their strengths. And but what you saw today is a snapshot of what we saw during the spring, and that's improvement, positioning, understanding, aggressiveness, pretty good discipline, and still got plenty of things to get better at.
Okay, Eric Bailey.
Brent, you had 15 practices. I want to ask you about your quarterback situation. How much were you impressed with Dylan's command of the offense and teaching his teammates? And then what do you think about the kids behind him? How much did they grow? Are you going to have to go to the portal maybe to get experience? How do you think that's going to play out during this offseason?
Again, been really pleased, again, from beginning to end with Dylan and, where he is. And he's probably his own worst critic. And Coach Levy probably would be too. But I'm looking at just the entire body and his leadership and his consistency. And he's done a great job all spring. I feel great about him. And we're still developing, behind him. We don't have quote-unquote answers right now. The portal is a definite option for us. And so we want to get, if we go that route, you're finding somebody that's the right fit, right age. There's just a lot that goes into that. I need to get into all those weeds, but that is a definite concern for us. No question about it.
Mm-hmm. Barry Trammell.
Yeah, Brent, you mentioned the win for Gabriel, but also the atmosphere, 75. It's not a normal spring game. Was that a nice bonus for you as a coaching staff to see what, you've seen him at UCF, but see what he'd do under such a big crowd and such hype?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't hide the fact when they walked in that stadium, those guys are looking around. You could hear the chirping. They're paying attention, and certainly some guys freeze up in those moments. There's no doubt about it. And he's like a stealth bomber, man. He was probably no surprise to many of us in this building, but he's like an assassin. He really is. He doesn't let any circumstances affect him. He's the same guy every day, and that's what the good ones and the great ones are. They show up every day and have the same mindset. So certainly a wonderful atmosphere for our guys. Truly game-like as far as home game anyway. So great opportunity for our guys to improve when you got the lights are bright. And so that was great to see for our guys.
Let's go to Ryan Aber.
Yeah, Brent, when you look at the defense specifically, and you talked about sort of being inspective, I think is the word you used about that. What's the area that you need to see the most growth in over these next 4 months? And what's the area you feel best about defensively right now?
Great question. I mean, we got to get better everywhere. And that's not trying to be general. It is. That's we got to get better everywhere. Our understanding, knowledge is power, and so just a lot of the details that you organically work out through time, and we don't have time. So we've got to bridge that gap quickly. And we've made a ton of improvement, but we still have our pre-snap alignments and positioning and eyes and the fundamentals and the trust. They had a little, I don't know what drive it was, but it was in the first half. They had a little quick screen out on the perimeter, and we're in a 3 deep, and it's on the sideline, the white sideline, and we got 2 defenders. They got 1 blocker. 1 blocker equals 2 gaps. Something outside of them, something inside of them. And you got to fit it, and you got to fit it like that. And the way you play aggressive is you know exactly where your help is. Now, that's not a guessing game, because that particular player is always fitting it a certain way. But we got to contact, and then we softened up and started looking, both sides of the blocker. So next you know, a play that it ought to be 2nd and 9. At the best case scenario for the offense, it's 2nd and 3. We give up 7 yards on a, behind the line scrimmage. And until we do that consistently, that's a snapshot of what consistency needs to look like, and that's like the layup of all layups, in my opinion. And I tell the defensive guys that's a dumb play. Offense, that's a smart play when they know the defense doesn't have the discipline to play it right. And I've seen us defend it well. And then I've seen us today, again, give up 7 yards. And you can't call defense when it's 2nd and 3 all day. It's just hard. So, I'm really proud of all the improvement that we've made. The number one thing that I think that our guys have shown the most improvement is just our mindset, our hunger, our humility, the thirst for the knowledge and the work that they put in off the field. Our effort. I mean, we were running on and off the field. I was like, my charge today was, let me find one dude that's not running off the field. Not like a full-fledged sprint, but running off the field. Do not walk. Okay, send a message by how we do what we do. And so I was on the hunt for somebody to be made an example of, and I couldn't find them. And that, for me, I'm like, well, man, they listening. But they're buying in. You ought to hear them. They're coaching each other like nonstop of what we're asking them to do. So, they're rehearsing and reinforcing all of our, our standards and beliefs and expectations. And so, again, we'll see if we can keep them, moving that needle in that way as well. But that's been really pleasing.
John Hoover?
Brent, you got to spend some time yesterday one-on-one with Baker. You saw how the crowd reacted to his presence.
Yeah.
You helped stir it yourself, but just wonder, he's going through some things right now. This was a great weekend for him to get back to Oklahoma and kind of feel people, put their arms around it, figuratively speaking, and literally, I guess. Just your thoughts on his weekend and the message that he had for the team, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what an honor it was to be able to, again, be a fly on the wall, to see history made. And you get a statue, that is like, what a special moment. So to be able to witness that was really neat, and watch his family and just the interactions, and certainly the love that Oklahoma has for Baker, and appreciation that they have for Baker and what he meant to this school and to so many people. For us, I loved his testimony. Everybody sees the glory. There's a story behind him too. And what a great example that was for our players to stand here a couple of mornings ago, bright and early. We got a chance to visit for a while, and I was so mad. I was so mad. Our first year in 2014, when Clemson had to play Oklahoma, I was pissed. Yeah, just because it's no fun. It wasn't not a moment about any of it, even winning, that was fun to me. That's not fun. And then turn around the next year. Not only that, now we got to play Baker Mayfield in Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl for a chance at a national championship. And watching all the tape, watching Baker Mayfield, and what an enormous challenge that is and was. Have so much respect for him. Talk about somebody that elevates everybody. That guy has got a gift for it, and just amazing his will, and he got really good skill, but his will is much stronger than his skill, and that's a compliment. He's got great skill, but his will is something you just can't coach, and it's a gift. And so always had great admiration and respect. Remember when he was the quarterback for us when was it at Tennessee? Remember watching him just impose his will. And me and my boys were sitting there. It was a late game, East Coast. It was a late game, and we were watching that game. And was that 15? No, was that 16? When was that? 15, and we were watching it, and I can't remember exactly how it went down, but, you know, put the nail in the coffin, and, man, I was like, boomer. I was like, that's what it looks like, and really cool, but, you know, his testimony in front of our team, you know, this guy goes from so he said, you know what, my dream was to play at Oklahoma. Grew up a little boy, my dream was to play at Oklahoma. You know what? I didn't believe in myself. He has this little tattoo here. We got this little sign, this belief sign here, and he got this little tattoo now. It says believe right here. And so he's like, man, I can't believe I got it right here. It's like, you know. And so that was cool. And he said he didn't believe in himself. He didn't think he was good enough to walk on at Oklahoma. So he said he went to Tech. That was his words, not mine. So he goes to Tech. What's he do? He starts 5 games as a freshman. And he doesn't get put on scholarship. Like, he's better than all these other yahoos, and they don't put him on scholarship. So in typical Baker fashion, right, he's like, man, screw this. You know, I do believe in myself now. I'm going to Oklahoma. And so he walks on at Oklahoma, right? So he goes from, you know, walk on and basically rejected, right, by his own people. They didn't even put him on scholarship. To, you know what, he walks on again and goes from a walk-on to being the number 1 pick in the draft. And then he goes from that, right, being on top of the mountain, okay, to being ostracized and stripped to the studs was his exact words. I was stripped to the studs. Rip out all the wiring, all the plumbing, studs is all there was left. That's what he said he felt. And what a great message that was for our guys, that sometimes you have this mess in your life, man, but there's a message through it all. And it made him realize immediately he lost his way with his faith. He lost his way with his priorities, with his family. He got on the wrong side of it because he started believing all the hype and focusing on the wrong things. And he lost his way, like so many of us have, and certainly the players on their journeys. Whether it's confidence or decisions. How you handle success is every bit as important as how you handle failure. Failure is easy to handle, right? We're humbled, we're down on our knees, you know, you get great clarity, but when everything's great and it's going really good, we're our own worst enemy. You know, that's just human nature. And, you know, so for him to be vulnerable in front of the team and give his testimony and in front of the guys, held no punches back. It was awesome, and a great message for our guys. He was a great example for our guys, and he's on the comeback, you know. And he was talking this way, and they're getting ready to pull a curtain off his statue, and but he was really important to him. I didn't ask him; he asked if he could. He wanted to get in front of the team, and probably pretty therapeutic for him, you know, being home. I'm hopeful that this was I know it was a great moment for him, and to help him, you know, as he takes on this next journey, you know, in his life. But what an honor it was to have him here, and again to be able to be a very, very small part of this weekend where he's being honored and recognized. Pretty cool stuff.
What did you think of all the players back, your players back, to see you?
Yeah, well, they're back because, you know, it's a spring game, and yeah, we made it a big deal because it's never about me. I think our former players they've always been very supportive compared to what's out there, but today was I think it showed the hunger, the thirst, the love for their university. The good ones, right? They always have the right instincts to make those decisions to strike while it's hot. And so today I think was a great message to everybody. And for me, I'm like, these guys, you don't come back unless you love your university. You don't come back unless you had a great experience. You don't come back unless this place means so much to you. Not only they come back, a lot of them live here. And they live here throughout the state. And so super humbled, very proud, brought back so many amazing memories and reconnected. Just fills your heart up, just fills your heart up. And it's a reminder of just keeping the main thing. The main thing, it's about relationships. It's what it always has been, always will be about. And again, so many, again, I told everybody, this is Team 128 was out there today. 128. Team 128. You get to write your own story, okay? But y'all ain't done nothing yet. 4.5 months, all right? Got spring ball done, okay? But we got a lot of work to do. And you're going to get exactly what you earn. Nothing more, nothing less. And so for me, I tried to use it as an opportunity with the players to let them know, y'all know, I just had Adrian Peterson sitting up in my office now, right? With 2 kids. He's got 2 little boys. And Axel and Adrian Jr. And for me, because I've talked to our players about it many times, I want that 35, 40-year-old version of you want to be able to come back here and hug my neck. Bring your children because you loved your college experience, because people treated you the right way, because they didn't use you, okay? They empowered you and equipped you, not entitled you. And so, again, that was another great opportunity to share with the guys because of, again, some older guys that have been here and gone off and they're living life right now. And but that's what, again, keeping the main thing looks like.
I know you got a lot you want to work on. You didn't feel like anything was perfect today, but you step off an airplane, you watch, Bob kind of take this program back, and go through a bowl game. You start building this program, hiring your coaches. You've gone through spring. You had a record crowd. Is this kind of a milestone for you today? I know there's probably looking back and it's not your style and stuff like that, but stopping to take a breath is not probably in your vocabulary, but has this been a milestone day for you?
I think it was a very important day because it brought the spring to a close for us. And what I loved about today is I thought we put an exclamation mark on this first 4.5 months. And mission accomplished. And the number one reason why is because when we showed up today, the mindset was right. Our attitude was right. Our focus and intensity was right. That's what has me fired up and excited and knowing, again, we're going in the right direction. And seeing, again, a ton of improvement, and whether it's programmatically, it's staff and it's staff buy-in. Okay, again, the whole staff has to buy in because the players are paying attention. Okay, if you got one staff member, he's like, well, hey man, he's not enforcing what I'm asking him to enforce, that's insidious behavior. And I have no problem correcting that if it happens. It hasn't happened, but it might, and I'm looking. So from milestone, that might be the right word. I think this was it was an important moment. It was very important that, again, this ain't just a practice. We started, and we had a little walkthrough yesterday of what we were going to go through today, just how we're going to stretch, just how everything was going to be just detailed, how we're going to stretch, and then what are we going to do in the Walk of Champions, and to end it with we practice, singing the alma mater and lined up on the 50. We practiced in here first. Me and Woody Glass got up here and we sang it. Yeah, it was pretty good too, I must say. Didn't we, Dylan? Was it good yesterday? See, thumbs up. And but we had just a couple of guys playing Johnny Jack around, okay, and jacking around the back of the line, talking to each other, and man, we're trying to stretch the right way. We're trying to clap at the same time, paying attention. And so I had just a brief moment where we had to have it coming to Jesus, but we got it immediately fixed. Okay, and Same stuff like that. If I let those little stuff like that go, I can, oh man, I hate being the bad guy. You know what? I will not grow weary of that. Okay? And next thing you know, you're gonna have excellence all the time. Not perfect anything, but we're gonna have excellence. Okay? You get what you demand. You get what you inspect. And that's how we're gonna run, this program. And there'll be plenty of issues that aren't good. But our attitude and mindset, non-negotiable. And so that's what I loved about today and everything kind of leading up to today. And then moving forward, what's really exciting is now you got true transformation time. It's getting ready to start. Like real, all right, get all 10 toes, man, dig them in the ground here. And time to go to work, but we're going to finish up finals here in another week. And then our guys, we've got close to just under 30 guys going to do paid micro internships. Caleb Kelly through the Soul Mission has got those guys. He did a great job of bringing in a group to help our players learn how to interview the right way, put together some great resumes, really sharp resumes, and then they competed. These companies came on campus and we had an opportunity for our players to compete for internships in industries that they're interested in when the game's over for them. And so we're going to have a big reveal for them in about another 8-9 days. And so they can choose. If they had 4 companies that chose them for internships, they have to choose one. And then we'll fly them wherever. We'll put them in a hotel, and then they'll get real workplace experience for up to 10 days, and they'll make some really good money, and they'll learn get some back inside knowledge of different companies and again industries. And then we have just under 40 guys going on a service trip during that time as well. So I learned the value of servant leadership and giving back, and just gain a new perspective. It ain't all about you. Make it about other people, serve others. And so I'm excited for them to have that opportunity as well. And then they'll have whatever it is, maybe another week, and then they got to get back here and we got to get to work. And our players, it's going to be player-led. Our staff will be here when we're allowed to be, our strength and conditioning staff. But my expectation is there's going to be a lot of sacrifice, by this group of guys. And for us to have the kind of season that this group, Team 128, has never had, they got to be willing to do the stuff that they've never done. As a team, as a unit. There might be individuals that's who they've been, but as a team, that's what they've got to hold each other accountable to that. So I'm excited to see that organically happen.
Is Johnny Jack Brown related to Jimmy Green Beans?
What?
Is Johnny Jack Brown related to Jimmy Green Beans?
They're different. Yeah, they're definitely different people. Johnny Jack Brown is not on the same planet as Green Beans.
Sooner Scoop HD.